Monique, and today I will be going through a prehab workout that you can do either before or after a training session. I'd preferably do it after, just because, you know, when it comes to sports like rugby and footy and all that kind of thing, you're generally working under a lot of fatigue, and when you get injured, it's usually when you're under fatigue. So we're getting the muscles used to, and all the bones and ligaments and everything used to your body, being a bit more tired, so you're much more aware of where you're putting your ankles and making sure everything's running a lot more smoothly. So, smoothly. So without further ado, the first exercise we're going to be doing is just a basic standing on the one leg. So this is a lot harder than you actually might think it is. So you're just going to be standing up, and I also prefer you to do this with bare feet as well, because it's so much harder and you don't get that extra support. So you want to be making sure you're nice and upright and your hips are aligned, and you don't want to be kind of slouching on one side. So if you're not sure if you're slouching, put the effort into pushing your hips out to whatever side your legs, like the leg is standing on top, and then push it out as far as you can, and then as soon as you feel it's as far as it can go, then stand up straight and push it back in. That's where you're going to get that alignment there. And I want you to be standing here for probably 30 seconds, 45 seconds without moving about, flailing your arms about. So you want to keep nice and straight and just working on that ankle stability. So just nice and straight, and also you want to make sure that your feet aren't kind of clenching, like foot muscles aren't clenching or anything like that. You want to be nice and relaxed and nice and simple. It's a really basic exercise, but I can guarantee you're going to be, you're going to take a couple of seconds to get used to. So you want to do it for 30 seconds to a minute on each side. Cool. So the next one, it's a little bit more challenging on the balance. It's called an arabesque. And this is going to be working your ankle stability, your hip stability, and pretty much every stability, but it comes in handy. So what you're going to be doing, on whichever side, you're just going to bring one leg back, go forward, and keep your hips aligned again, and bringing your leg all the way back and up. So you want to be making sure you're nice and strong, nice and firm in that planted foot, and bringing back. And you don't want to be kind of bringing your hips up that way or anything like that, because then that's a sign that you've got weakness in your lower back, glutes, core. Depends on who you are, but there's a sign of weakness. So you want to be focusing on that controlling, and just keep going back like that. Go forward. Nice and easy. So you want to go about 12 to 15 times on each side for about 3 sets. And then as you get stronger, you can add weight to that as well. And now the next exercise, it's a bit of an odd looking one, but it's also a really good one for balance. It's called toe taps around the wheel. So you're going to be nice and strong on your planted foot again, and you're going to be bringing your toe all the way around to each side. So almost like a 360, and you're going to be really working on that ankle balance. And this comes in handy when, you know, you're literally landing, jumping, or even just running or just having to come to a sudden halt, and you're just really focusing on that strength going through the ankle there. So again, you want to make sure everything's nice and strong, and you're not flailing about. Cool, and again, 12 to 15 times, 3 to 4 sets, and you're good to go. Next one is a bit more of a challenging version of the arabesque. So instead of just kicking your leg back and coming up, you're going to be bringing your leg back, and then pulling your knees straight through. So nice and easy, focusing on that control through the hips and the ankles. And this is going to be working the hip flexors as well. And pretty much it's going to be helping you with your running, and one of the biggest causes of injury are weak hip flexors. So if you're working on those, you'll reduce the chance of injury, especially when you're sitting down a lot during this time. There's nothing worse than when you're getting up and you can just feel the tightness through those hips. And take it from me, someone who has had hip flexor injuries, it's not fun, and it takes forever to actually rehab. So do the prehab so you don't have to do the rehab. Now to finish up, we're going to be doing something a little bit more challenging, get the heart rate up a little bit. I wouldn't recommend this for anyone who has any soreness or any injuries until your physio gives you all clear that you can jump around. But for those who are totally good, we're going to be doing lateral bounds. So you're just going to be jumping side to side and really planting your foot onto the ground. And when you're jumping as well, I want you to hold for 3 seconds. Because otherwise, if you're going jump, 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 you haven't got that, you're jumping with momentum rather than through strength. So you really want to be focusing on jumping and holding. And because in a lot of sports, you're going to be doing a lot of leaps and bounds in different directions, that's a really good exercise that comes in handy for that. So I hope you enjoyed that. Give that a go. Definitely do it after a training session and see how much harder it is when you're under fatigue.